Good afternoon, guys. Jono here. I have got the wonderful and beautiful Corin with me from the STEP Foundation. Corin, welcome. How's it going? Are you excited to be with us? We'll get into it. We normally just wait about a couple of 2 or 3 minutes for everyone to sort of log on, and then we'll get into it. But
yeah, I must say I'm feeling quite excited, not only about the event but about this interview, because it's my very first Facebook streaming interview. Well, I've done a lot of media stuff for STEP, so this is certainly a first. It's a first virtual and athletic event for STEPs, and also my first virtual interview. So thanks for having me.
Amazing. Well, it's amazing to have you with us. We're going to dive into it. I mean, as you'll know, we've got an incredible community of people. Sorry, I'm just pulling up the live feed over here so I can see all the comments. Everyone who's joining us, please welcome Corin. She is doing such incredible stuff for this incredible cause. And what we've done in the past is since lockdowns come about, etc., we've raised through our community over R500,000 Rand for various communities, which is really exciting. And now we, by chance, we got in touch with you. I remember still talking to you. I was on the phone trying to buy nappies or something for the kids, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. What a story. This is going to change a lot of children's lives. So tell us about STEPs, Corin. Tell us about that, and then we'll take a few questions afterwards. But let's dive into it. What is STEPs?
Okay.
What does it involve from that point of view?
Right. Well, STEPs is really the only organisation in South Africa that focuses on clubfoot. And a lot of people don't know what clubfoot is. So maybe I should just start by saying, what is clubfoot? And it's a birth defect that a child is born with. And it's actually a defect of the ankle mainly, but also the lower leg is slightly differently structured. And what happens while the baby's growing, before it's born, the foot starts to turn in and becomes and the tendons are tight, and the baby's essentially born with a foot that it's almost upside down, pointing inwards and downwards. And you can imagine you can't wear shoes with a foot like that, let alone walk normally. And in the past, what would happen was a lot of surgery was essential for clubfoot. That started around the 50s. And it wasn't always very successful. Sometimes people had great results, sometimes not. And my son was born with clubfoot. So I became an instant expert. I had to quickly research a whole lot of things. I also didn't know much about it. And I discovered so many things that scared me about the treatment he was going to have and the surgery. And this was 17 years ago. But just by sheer luck and chance, and sometimes you don't know why in life things happen, why we got in touch, why anything happens. I mean, why things happen through COVID that actually change your life as well. And I found this man on the internet who was treating clubfoot without surgery. So that just blew my mind. It's like, how do you treat it without surgery when everyone's treating it with surgery? And it turns out that, yes, there is an element of surgery involved, but it's a much less invasive treatment. And this was a guy called Dr. Ponsetti, who, when he treated my son, was at 89 years old. And wow, I mean, first of all, I flew all the way to Iowa with my husband and son. It snowed, had rain, and a heat wave all in a week. So we were rushing around shops buying clothes. But the main thing was that within one cast, I could just see the amazing difference it had made on my son's feet, whereas he'd had 7 or 8 casts with the traditional method in South Africa and had made no difference whatsoever. And within 3 casts, his feet were straight. He was in the hands of the master who had invented the method, and we were flying home. And I just thought, then I discovered that about 1 in 700 to 1 in 500 children, depending on where you live and what your heritage is born with a clubfoot, either one or both. And secondly, that South Africa has one of the highest rates in the world, our South African Black population particularly. And then I started to come home. When I came home, I started to think, but what about all these other babies are now going to have the big surgery that I didn't want for my son? And I've seen the alternative. So that's why I started STEPs, really, was first of all, started talking to doctors. As a mother with no medical experience, no non-profit experience, I kind of just made a lot of it up as I went along, just my passion and really wanting to not let children go through unnecessary surgery. And then started STEPs in 2005 and started really with a focus on training doctors in this different way of, actually doctors don't really need training. They just need to be explained, because obviously they're all orthopedic surgeons. They know a lot about anatomy and they're all fantastic specialists. But they had been taught to do clubfoot one way, and I was bringing in a whole new way, which was more hands-on. The patient wasn't under anesthetic. So there was a lot of talking with doctors and finally training. And I'm very proud to say that South African doctors they just got it straight away. And they just thought, wow, this is really going to help, particularly all the patients in public health they were casting babies for months in Baragwanath and hospitals like that, then having surgery when they were 2-3 years old. And you can just imagine what it was like for those mothers, having to get up week after week, go and put more casts on. And this was like such an amazing solution to have. How often do you have a problem with a solution? It's not very often that comes along. So really that's why STEP started, and it's grown since then.
Sure. Incredible. I sit here and I get goosebumps because well done, and like hats off to you as an individual. I think a lot of us, when we go through a situation with our own kids, we sort of just fix a problem and get on with our lives. But you've come back and actually just gone, hang on, there's other people that need help, and I'm going to help them. So I mean, that's like, music to my heart. You are the sort of person I am, and that's why we are going to get on, and that's why we are going to raise a lot of money together. And that's why this community is going to rally around you, Corin, and that's incredible. Listen, so in the family, sort of, you've gone through the situation, you've yourself experienced it, come home, seen the problem, and now we've got a treatment. You know what I mean? We've got something to do. Tell us about the Ponseti treatment. What is that exactly? You know what I mean? Like, let's break it down.
Okay. Well, it breaks down into 2 phases, but it takes a child from birth up until 4 years old, but the initial phase is the most busy phase of the treatment. It's usually the casting phase or the treatment phase. And that's normally, if it's done as when you get a baby really young, it can be done in a month and sometimes 2 months, changing the cast weekly. And then they have a very, like I said, it's not fully non-surgical. There is a little technique but it can be done with local anesthetic, where they take a teeny little baby scalpel and they cut into the Achilles tendon, which an adult you'd be like, oh my goodness, how on earth do you cut the Achilles tendon? In a baby, it regenerates. And what happens is babies heel is almost, you can't feel it when they've got a clubfoot because they've got such a tight Achilles tendon. It's like they're firmly on tiptoe. So when you cut the Achilles tendon, it drops the heel, and that's when they do the last cast. And then that is the final cast that stays on for 3 weeks. And during those 3 weeks, the Achilles tendon actually regenerates longer. So it treats the last part of the treatment, which is the very short little tendon. And then the baby goes into boots and bar, which they then wear until the age of 4 when they're sleeping. My son used to call them his doo-doo shoes. And in fact, he got used to wearing them at night. When he first stopped wearing them, he was 3.5. Those days they said stay until a bit less. He actually had to put him in sandals for about 3 days because he wasn't used to sleeping barefoot. It was quite funny. So yeah, but apart from that, it is extremely taxing for parents to get into that routine, and that is a lot of what STEPS does. It's the Ponseti method. I always tell doctors is 90% the parent and 10% the doctors, because the parents do so much at-home maintenance, of the treatment. But the good news is that once they've gone through that, even when the baby starts walking, they're not wearing the brace during the day. So they can have normal run around, stretch their feet, and they just sleep in it at night. So
amazing. Yeah, not invasive or anything. Sorry, I'm so glued to this. I can resonate really well with this. I actually personally myself, which no one actually knows, I never told the story before, is that I learned to walk in plaster Paris. My legs were in plaster Paris for about 1.5 years.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. So that's, I'm not too sure if that's got to do with my funny running style where I look like a rhino and everyone mocks me or whatever. but I can resonate with that, with, like the process of, as a parent, having to, at night time, make sure that behavior is there, making them sleep, etc., like that. So we've said, which is quite incredible now. We're going sort of a small little surgery. After 3 weeks, that tendon sort of heals in a baby. That's insane. Crazy. And especially the Achilles tendon, where now, as an Achilles tendon, if you pop your Achilles tendon or anything as an adult, that is like a 4 to 6 month process to get it right, you know. So it just shows the power of these little humans and how quickly they can actually heal themselves.
It is incredible. It's amazing. I've got to learn a lot more about a teeny baby's foot, and there's so much to know about it. But yeah, it is incredible.
But Corin, you know, you think, you know, out there for our underprivileged population, where we have a huge underprivileged, you know, like population, this sort of surgery might probably come across as quite expensive and daunting for them. So, what would the cost, like implications of this be for an individual child to have this sort of procedure done?
Well, what we've done is, that was a huge thing, because I think there's around 60% of our population is rural, and 85% of our patients don't have medical aid. So we focus on getting it into state clinics, and that's been many years of working together with state doctors working at public hospitals, putting together clubfoot clinics where we help equip them, we put staff in to educate parents, we help train people, and to have a really functioning, you hear so many horror stories about public hospitals, but I've worked with many, and I must say, there are some incredible teams of people doing incredible work, and when you can actually achieve a lot working like that. And so what we do is, the public health sector is completely under-resourced, underfunded, underskilled. There's nothing really, there's no support for them in admin or data or marketing or advocacy or anything like that. So we've said, okay, what are the gaps? How can we get to those children, first of all? Because the first problem was, how do they even know what clubfoot is? How do they know how to treat it? How do they know where to go? A lot of people think it's a curse, that there's something the mother did or the ancestors. Some people say it's a blessing. There's all kinds of traditional beliefs around it. And that's in every community. Often I thought, gee, what have I done when I was pregnant? But there's nothing that the mother does when she's pregnant. It's a genetic, environmental cause. So what we did was, we said, okay, what is the most effective, sustainable way? Instead of us helping 10 children, how can we help all the children? So we worked out a plan that it will support one child through this program in partnership with the clinics we work in for 2,500 Rand over 4 years. Now, that is not a lot of money. And if you think what you spend on your Mr. Delivery or, coffee, or it's an amazing instant impact on a child's life that takes them from not wearing shoes, probably never going to school, and being, it's isolated, because when you're poor and you're disabled, what kind of life are you going to have? It's very stressful for them and their family. And that is what we've done as a scalable model, where we can actually say, okay, this is how we can make an instant impact on a child's life. And from us being involved with these clinics, we're reducing the patient dropout. We're making the parents, I've had stories where families have actually got back together, where the father said, I'm leaving you, you slept with somebody else, it's not in my family, and we give them some education, and they're like, oh my God, okay, and they're back together, and it sorts out the family. We're not counselors, but just by sheer information, you can empower people. So I come from a writing, marketing background, and always been a bit of a maverick, and never really was a very good employee. But I was good at kind of working on my own or starting things. And I just thought, let me try and improve communication, because that's how you get to the babies. That's how you remove the stigma. We want clubfoot everybody to know what clubfoot is, everybody to know it's treatable. And that'll just be the most amazing gift that we can give these kids, because they'll all be able to walk. That's really what it's about.
There's so much similarities. This is why this is going to work so well between us, because there's so much similarities, besides me and you not having employees and dealing with being an employee. I'm exactly the same. Maverick run. But you said, like the information is key. It's exactly what we're doing. We're giving our clients information to better their lives, better their health. And it's what you're doing. You're giving the parents information to say, hey, we can solve this problem. And most importantly, for 2,500 Rand over 4 years.
Yeah.
That's like, it's mind blowing what we can do for 2,500 Rand over 4 years. We can change these children's lives, and not only the children's, the perceptions across their families, and give them a normal life. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's insane. Wow. I'm blown away. This is a direct call to action, guys, for everyone who's watching and listening. We're going to put the link over here. If you're thinking about it now and you're watching, just before as we carry on with these questions, go and sign up for the run. On the 19th of September, we are going to be running 6,000 steps in 60 minutes for the STEPs Foundation. We're going to be raising over 100,000 Rand with your help. When you sign up for the run, you'll see a donation there. Donate 10 Rand, donate 50 Rand, donate 100 Rand, donate 10,000 Rand if you can afford it, and change these kids' lives. I'm going to commit right now. I'm going to go on. I'm going to donate 1,000 Rand to start it off for you, from myself personally, because you know what I mean? Like 1,000 Rand is halfway there for 2 years. You know what I mean, of growth of these kids. It's absolutely insane. I've got someone here from Bangkok, Cabby Ranch. She goes, I'd like to sponsor a child for 4 years. How can I do this? Cabby, Bibi, go to the link that you can see going across the page. Go in there and just donate and make it happen. It's just absolutely, guys. Let's get this going. I want to hit 100,000 in the next couple of days. Let's just do this and get behind this. Wow, I'm blown away by this, because it's something that people haven't, obviously, like, I haven't been properly educated about it, and it's out there. It's something that personally I would probably just go, wow, well, like, how do we fix this problem? And you can imagine people that haven't been educated in that way, or the understanding, that they get a bit like freaked out about it, but it's amazing. We can solve these problems. We can together we can just educate people on how we can put the solution in place. It's insane. Yeah. Where do you see this whole thing going? Like, I know you're so motivated, and you can just see you resonate like this, just this amazing loveliness out of yourself. How many kids do you want to help? You know what I mean? Like, in a year, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time with this thing?
Well, we're currently enrolling about 50% of the children through our partner clinics. I mean, there's more children being treated, but we don't always have access to all of them. Some are in private care, but we do also help them. We want to get it at least 70 or 80% of all kids treated and in our program with partner clinics. There's a global campaign called Run Free 2030 that we're part of. So that's 10 years from now. And my goal, I mean, I'd like to leave a legacy where I'm kind of, I don't think I'll work till I'm 89 or 95 like Dr. Bonsetti did, but to have something that's made a huge difference, and that it just becomes a normal, like people talk about Jeff Palette, Smile Foundation. We want that to be comfort as well. Let's educate everybody and just say, it's not and the more people that are actively involved in it, the faster our message will. So that's really my primary goal, is to just get it into mainstream communication, because nearly all the problems, it takes away stigma, it increases support, it increases patients coming in. So communication and really uplifting. And this is why an opportunity like this is amazing, because I know you've got a huge following and you're doing amazingly innovative stuff. So I'm happy to piggyback onto that and learn from you guys, and do what we can to kind of make this campaign work. Yeah.
And we are going to do it. You must see the comments that are coming through. There's so many people like saying here, I was born with, like Renee Beebe saying, I was born with clubfoot and was the only one of triplets with the condition. Had surgery at 6 weeks and now all is fine. Amazing.
Oh, good.
There's so many people that resonate with this. There's another two that's just come. Bibi, she's amazing. She was the one who wants to donate. She was born with the clubfoot, and I'm testimony that when you're young, all is okay. And it's just insane. People are just going, yeah, I'm going to donate. The incredible Tanya Walls-Smith, she's lost almost 20 kilos with us. She's going to donate. And I encourage everyone behind her to get involved. Sure. It's just, what we're going to do on the 19th September, we are going to have an amazing day where we're going to all get out there, do 6,000 steps in 60 minutes, and we're going to push ourselves, and we're going to do it for this cause, and we're going to raise 100,000 Rand or more. The more money we raise, the more children we can help. And this is something we can do. I always say, like, Karen, we've got an incredible community of people that somehow just swarm around each other, swarm around these charities that we want to help. And they just give. Be it 5 Rand, be it 50,000 Rand, whatever it may be. As long as we can just sort of give something, it all adds up, and it's going to help these young children just to go, it's fine. We can solve the problem. You know what I mean?
I really agree with you. You don't have to give a lot. And I like to sign up for recurring donations for the charities that I do, because then I know every month 150 or 200 Rands coming off my account. I don't even notice it's gone, but it makes such a difference just to have people like that, who are engaged. So yeah, it's amazing. Thanks.
No, it's incredible.
For everybody who's offered already. Yeah.
For everyone that's watching, guys, our call to action, and I say our because I'm there too, our call to action is to register for the run. Post your race number to the JEFF Together page and to the JEFF members page, and on your private Facebook or social media page. Remember, anyone can do this. You don't have to be a member. Anyone can do it. Get your mom, get your dad, get your granny, get your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your colleagues, everyone involved. Let's all donate a little bit of money, and let's help these kids. Let's raise over 100,000 Rand in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be talking steps the whole time because I'm going to get behind this. It's something that's quite close to my heart, and I really want to get this charity up and running for you guys, where we can just help these kids. It's amazing. We can help children who never thought they could be helped before, and that next young child could be our next Olympic athlete. It could be our next leader. It could be we're giving people a chance in life, and that's the most important thing. If we can provide hope, we can educate people. It's just going to be incredible. It's such an incredible story, and we're going to throw our energy behind it. We're going to throw our community. We're going to swarm. I encourage everyone who's listening over here. There's so many of you. Share the story. Share it with your friends. We can make a difference together, and we're pumped to do it. It's going to be amazing. So, would you like to finish off with anything, Corin? The floor is yours.
I just want to say that I'm so touched by your passion, everybody's donations, and we're here to be part of this, and we're extremely excited, honored, and privileged. And the kids it's going to help. I mean, one of these days you're going to have to come with me to one of the clinics, John, so you can actually experience it, because that just really pulls it all together. I can't even express what a difference one small gesture from you will make to somebody else's life. It's actually life-changing, and it sounds corny, but it really is life-changing. And it's a quick way to do it. It's a simple way to do it that infects somebody's life for the rest forever, which is amazing. So thanks.
Amazing. Just throwing a little idea out here. Could you make these clinics where they are available to us? I will definitely come with you in the next two or so weeks, and myself and Jules will come across. I'd love to come.
Okay.
I think if we could make it available where these clinics are, I think a lot of our community members will actually want to get involved and go check it out themselves and see what they're doing. And that's what I encourage. It's always good to experience something so you can touch it and you get a feeling for it. And I think the more awareness we can do, the better.
Yes.
So, Corin, we're here to help you. We're going to do this together. We're going to raise this money together. It's going to be a lot of fun along the way. You're probably going to be irritated by my voice at the end of it, but I don't care. I'm going to keep on going and going. I'm challenging this community to raise 100,000 Rand minimum for this cause, and we're going to do it. I'm so target driven. I hit that thing, I go for it. So we're going to do it, and it's going to be incredible, and we're going to change these kids' lives, and that's the most important thing. I mean, with me having small kids, I can only imagine what it's done, and what it can do. So thanks, Corin. You're an incredible human being. Thank you for being an incredible human being. Thanks for sharing your story with us. Thanks for sharing your vulnerability with us. That's what this whole community is about. And I'm so excited to help you, man. It's going to be awesome.
Great. And I'm looking forward to my 6,000 steps. I'm not super fit, but I'm going to give it my best.
Of course you are.
I'm more of a Pilates girl. Yeah.
Well, in this community, we take you out of your comfort zone, and on that day, you're going to come out of your comfort zone. So
okay, cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
So everyone, I encourage you at home, click on the link below, sign up for the run, please post it, share the story. It's an incredible story. And let's get so many people running for these kids with Clubfoot, and let's raise this money and really, really, really knock this thing out the park like we always do as a community. I'm so excited about this.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Pleasure. And just look out for some more interviews we're going to be having with some well-known celebrities that are really behind this platform. Cameron Funderburg's one of them, Olympic medalist, which is going to be really cool to talk about, and really leak these stories out and just obviously get the knowledge out there that we need to share, and create awareness. So it's going to be awesome. Corin, thanks for your time. Have an amazing week. The clock starts now, people. Let's start raising this money. 1,000 Rand coming in from me today. Here we go.
Wow.
Guys, have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us. And let's get this ball rolling. Let's change these kids' lives, and let's start the process. Get registering for the run on the 19th.